All right. So, I just want to clarify why I haven't uploaded in a few days. Um, I did trade on Tuesday and Wednesday. Uh, but the thing is that on both those days I overtraded and I ended up just deciding not to even record anything, not even looking at my computer on both those days. And overall, on Thursday, that's when I decided, you know what, I'm not even going to look at my computer for the entire week. Um, Obviously, just want to clarify the change of scenery. I had to move my things, and now my face looks much more pale. So that's great. But y'all get used to it. Anyways, um, overall, I overtraded and I decided to put myself through a psych reset, a psychology reset, basically just kind of resetting my mind and getting myself back onto the correct path. The entire time, or those entire 2 days were probably, I'd say those entire 2 days were incredibly stressful considering I was just completely frustrated with myself and consistently doing the same mistakes that I know not to do. So, with that being said, I've decided to take the entire rest of that week off and kind of just focus on my mental and clarify my goals and kind of tell myself, not to do what I've been doing, to say the least. With that being said, I did take a trade today. Um, the trade was okay, so my original trade was shorts here. This was the original trade, and it was shorts, and it was in the middle, I believe, of this candle. And I saw that price had decided to go back up, and once I saw that price decided to go back up, I closed at break even. So my trades, I don't typically. And this trade would have hit stop loss also, by the way. Just want to clarify that. Because I was focused on just an invalidation and then a move down. Definitely should have had my stop loss much higher. I would have needed a stop loss up here, but I wasn't comfortable risking that much. I was not comfortable risking that much, and taking profits would be down here. It would be a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio roughly, or less than a 1-to-1 risk to reward. And also, I had no targets below. So, overall, the trade itself, I just wasn't confident in it and just decided to close it break even. With that said, I decided to wait for my reversal setups that I usually take, and we did this entire range. We did sweep this entire range, and so that anticipated me that there could be a potential psychological level considering we swept that entire range and we had a green candle on the move up. I looked at it on the 3 minute, and upon looking on the 3 minute, the we saw a large move up on the 3 minute, right? So we saw a large move up invalidating partial candle, like the half of the candle. English is not working very well. With that said, afterwards we actually looked at a footprint chart. Now, footprint charts I don't typically look at, but I've started to realize that there's a lot of value in them, as far as having an extra confirmation source. Now, it is very confusing looking in terms of footprints, but they are incredibly helpful when I'm looking for an entry point and I need more confluence in order to enter into my trade. So, what I did was I looked at my footprint chart, and on the footprint chart, you could see that there's this delta. Obviously, during this moment, we had negative delta, and oh, oh, and oh, oh, we broke it. There we go. we had negative delta. So this is actually why I entered into shorts, was because the delta on the footprint charts was at 1.2K. So this tells me that there are more sellers than buyers. Now, where my entry should have been in terms of this would have to be in this area when we started selling off, but that's exactly at market open. So that doesn't display much confidence for me. I looked at the footprint chart here, then I noticed that, Delta was rising up and I wasn't confident in the trade anymore. That was for the first trade. For this trade, the second trade, I saw that Delta on the 3 minute was rising. So I saw that there were more buyers than more buyers coming into the market than sellers. Obviously, it shows 4.43K in bearish volume in sellers and 3.85K in bullish volume. And also the candle itself is starting to appear bullish. So overall, what am I looking for? What's my confirmation? My confirmation is on a footprint chart that there is a potential bullish bias coming in here and it could lead to a potential reversal. So what other confluences did I look at on the 3 minute, or not on the 3 minute, on the 1 minute? I saw that we had this initial move down. We potentially invalidated it, have had our this is still the 3 minute candlesticks, right? These are the one, the two, and the three. This is this candlestick. It's just in a smaller time frame. So we started seeing bullish volume here, started seeing bearish volume signal, but then we started seeing bullish volume signal invalidating probably about one, two, three previous bearish candles. So that overall tells me, okay, we have a potential bullish bias, a potential bullish setup, and I'm going to target the most recent swing high. And the most recent swing high was right here. So upon targeting that, I ended up entering into the trade. And once I entered into the trade, I actually had to exit because on Top Step, on the dashboard, I don't know if there was an update of some sorts. I'm not sure what happened, but my contract size was 2 minis and I was unaware of it. I looked at it. I noticed that my contract size was, once I noticed my contract size was 2 minis, it was already too late. It was during this candle right here, this large move up. So I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be smart about this. I'm going to scale my stop loss to break even, meaning I'm scaling my stop loss into profit so that way the trade is risk free and I have no issues of worrying about it whatsoever. And especially after this large push up, I have particularly no reason to worry about it. It's it's unlikely that we immediately have a drop down. So moved my stop loss into profit and had a risk-free trade and ended up actually passing the account. So I took my profits mainly because the account was already passed. There was no point for me to stay in this trade because my account, I'm done, you know? I'm done. I passed the account. I'm going on to the next day basically. So with that said, um ended up going into a psych reset. Due to my over trading, I ended up going into a psych reset and putting myself in a position where I need to, in a sense, calm myself down, focus on the long-term structure rather than trying to, focus on short-term structure, right? Trying to make money fast. Doesn't work like that. As much as as much as I want trading to work like that, it doesn't work like that. So overall, what I'll be doing is I'm going to keep myself mindful. I'm going to obviously not be over leveraged. I'm going to keep myself mindful. I'm going to maintain myself at a lower lot size and continuously focus on my self awareness. So that's probably the number one thing I need to be doing is focusing on my self awareness and not pushing myself to um, not pushing myself in a sense of, I need to do more. I need to do this. I need this. Like, no, done what I needed to do. I've executed the processes that I needed to execute. I have nothing else I need to do. I have to, if I have a losing day, I need to accept that losing day. In order for me to move forward, I need to learn from my own mistakes. And that's exactly what I did over the weekend was I learned from my own mistakes. I decided not to even look at charts. I believe I looked at charts last night is when I started looking at charts. So I've understood I took the what would you say? I accepted my consequences, if you want to put it that way, and I moved on from them. I need to, like I've said before, and just a few moments ago, I need to be more self-aware with myself, and I need to be more patient. In order for me to progress forward, I have to be more patient. And if I want to see overall progress throughout the entire time of this career that I plan setting up for myself, I absolutely need to be self aware and disciplined, of course. So, overall, trading day went well. I, my psychology was decent, and last week was crazy to say the least. Last week I went crazy, and that obviously cannot be happening. At least I am self aware about it. At least I have identified it, identified the issue. Now I just need to execute upon my issues and fix them. So, in the future, obviously, I'm not expecting those issues to come up again. I'm going to consistently be more self aware with myself and um, be able to pinpoint my accuracy, if we want to put it that way. I'm going to be actually reading a book. Well, kind of rereading it. I finished what would you call it? Finished it halfway through, but then I stopped reading it, and I'm gonna restart and start reading it again. It's called "The Hour Between Dog and Wolf: How Risk Taking Transforms Us Body and Mind," and this is by John Coates. This is the book right here. See if I can get on camera. Boom. There you go. Yeah, The Hour Between Dog and Wolf, and it goes into the neurological sciences of risk taking and overall being able to be self evident with yourself. So, yeah, with that being said, we'll see what tomorrow brings.